Day of the Diesels. Little Golden Bunk. One beautiful day on the island of Sodor, Thomas and Percy were enjoying a ride in the countryside. Suddenly, they saw black smoke in the sky. They raced to find out what was the matter. An old farm shed was on fire. Percy and Thomas let firefighters take buckets of water from their tanks to put out the blaze, but it was slow work. Luckily, a new engine named Belle arrived. She shot water from 2 spouts of flames on her tanks. The flames fizzled out. Back at the steamworks, everyone cheered for Belle. "Thank you," she peeped. "I'm not a real hero. You need real fire engine. You need Flynn, the fire engine. He's fast and furious. He's a real hero." The next day, Thomas took Belle on a tour of the island of Sodor. They forgot to invite Percy. He felt left out and very alone. Diesel oiled up to Percy. He invited Percy to visit the Diesel Works. "You'll be our special guest," he hissed. Steamies didn't usually go to the Diesel Works, but Percy wanted friends who had time for him. He wanted to be a special guest. Percy enjoyed his visit. All the Diesels were very friendly, but the building was stinking, old, and dirty. They didn't even have a crane. "You need a new Diesel Works," Percy said to Diesel 10. "I will ask Thomas to tell us the top of hand. He always listens to Thomas." Diesel 10 liked this idea. Percy raced back to the steamworks to tell Thomas about his adventure, but Thomas was too busy to listen. Flynn the fire engine had arrived. Thomas was showing him around Sodor. That night, Percy saw something that really troubled him. Flynn was in Percy's berth at Tim Machen's. Percy decided not to stay where he wasn't wanted. Percy puffed to the Diesel Works. He brought Kevin, because he knew that Diesels didn't have a crane. "We'll both be needed at the Diesel Works," Percy peeped. The next morning, Percy told the Steamies where he had been all night. Everyone was amazed. Percy asked Thomas if he could help the Diesels get the new Diesel Works. They chugged off together to talk to Diesel 10. But Diesel 10 no longer wanted Thomas's help. "We're going to take over the steamworks," said Diesel 10. "And we want you to lead us, Percy." Percy felt grander than Gordon. He and the Diesels rolled away, leaving a very angry Thomas behind. But when they reached the Diesel Works, the Diesels wouldn't listen to Percy. "The steamworks is ours," Diesel 10 roared, "and we're not giving it back." To make matters worse, Percy discovered that Thomas was being held prisoner at the Diesel Works. Percy hurried to help Thomas. As he screeched to a stop, sparks flew from his wheels. Some oily rags caught fire, and the flames spread across the Diesel Works. Percy knew he needed Flynn's help. He found the Bold Red engine, and together they rushed back to the diesel works. Flynn put out the fire while Percy saved Thomas. Thomas and Percy then raced to save the steamworks and to stop the diesels. As they roll along, they collapse into their friends, Belle, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Toby, and Emily. They all knew that friends are strongest when they stick together. The Diesels were surprised to see the Steamies, but they refused to leave the steamworks until Sir Topham had arrived. He was very cross. "Diesel 10, he said sternly, "you have caused confusion and delay on my railway." "It was always my plan to build a new diesel works," Sir Topham had explained, "but everything takes time. Now the diesels and the steamies must work together to build a new diesel works." Soon the new diesel works was finished. At the grand opening, the diesels beamed and the steam engines peeped proudly. Everyone was happy, especially Percy and Thomas. They were best friends again. The end.